let's go into the 2015-16 season, right? I mean, that's the season, national championship run. We all know how it ended. Let's go to how it started, right? You enter that season. Obviously, there's always like a hopefulness to a season. But did you feel like you guys had something special? Like you knew you were good.
Right.
Did you feel like you had something special?
I think we did, because the year before I thought we underachieved. I thought that team that we had was good enough to win a national championship. Honestly, every team that I was on at Villanova, I thought we were talented and tough enough to win a national championship. That's just how good our teams were and how well coached we were.
Right.
So the year before was a major disappointment. We were a #1 overall seed.
You were, yeah.
We lost in the round of 32. We actually lost in Pittsburgh, which actually adds to my disdain for
the Steelers and everybody out there.
All that stuff out there. So to have that happen.
You know I represent Pittsburgh and those communities. Thanks for helping me here. Yeah,
it's all love. It's not a competitive setting. It's all love. It's all love.
So you underachieve. You go into this season. You guys got a little bit of a chip on your shoulder.
Yep.
You know you got talent.
We know we got talent.
Start getting going.
And Coach Wright, he had mentioned to us the year before, like, we still should be playing, and that kind of stuck with me because I agreed. I just felt like we were that good. And to have that major disappointment, it definitely fueled us going into that next year. Right.
Remind me, did we lose anybody from the 14-15 season?
Yes, we lost Darren Hilliard and Javon Pinkston and Dylan Ennis.
Right.
But we were going into that next season, and Ryan Archidiakono was going to be a senior.
Yeah.
Daniel Cheffer was going to be a senior. Myself and Josh Hart were going to be juniors starting for the first time. So we had a certain sense of pride stepping into some new roles. So we had extreme confidence, coming from the DMV area, playing high school basketball in D.C. And then, we played against Numa Goretti and schools like that growing up.
Sure.
So we know the competitive nature that Pennsylvania has when it comes to basketball. So it made our transition easy, and we just fit right in.
Yeah. By the way, I got to take a quick detour. You grew up in the D.C. area. You could have been a Redskins fan or a Ravens fan, and you're a Birds fan? How'd that happen?
So you know how they say the apple doesn't fall from the tree when it comes to your parents? I'm the apple that falls way far.
Yeah.
So whatever teams my parents like, I try to kind of find a team that's
the opposite?
Exactly, a rival.
So you drove dad and mom crazy here.
In the NFL world, absolutely.
Were they Redskins or Ravens?
One was the Redskins and one was the Steelers.
Oh, all right. It's okay. It's good.
It's
good.
For you, it's not that bad. For me, it was tough.
All right. Okay. So come back to this. So you guys, you're on a roll. You're getting going. And you're at what point during the season were you feeling like, okay, we're clicking? Like, because you're a new starter, right? Ryan's a new starter. Like you guys are gelled and you're rolling. What's that point during the season?
I think the point where we figured it out, honestly, believe it or not, was we had an away game where we lost at Virginia. And that was just kind of a waking up moment for us in our season.
Okay.
It was kind of like a turning point because that was just a tough road game, a tough environment. We kind of gave it our all, but we came up short. But we knew after the game, like, yo, we're going in the right direction. And we're going to continue to figure this thing out. And at the end, we'll give ourselves a chance.
Got it. So you get to the Big East tournament. You guys were, what was your record at that point? You had like 3 or 4 losses, maybe?
We have 4 losses going into the Big East tournament.
4 losses. You go into the Big East tournament, feeling really good about where things are there. You come out of the Big East tournament, and remind me what seed you were in. Where were you in that?
We were a 2 seed, and we started in Brooklyn.
Yeah. You were a 2 seed, not a 1 seed?
We were a 2 seed.
So I'm thinking of the year before when you were the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're a 2 seed. You go to Brooklyn for the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Who'd you get in the first round?
UNC Asheville.
Yeah.
And then, which people tend to forget that when you play schools like UNC Asheville, they're the best team in their conference, and you're playing against older guys who are going to be seasoned vets, and they've given everything that they have to the program, and this is their moment to make it to the tournament.
Right.
So those games are a lot tougher than people understand.
Right.
So we win that.
You beat them, so now you're in that round of 32. So that's a big hump because the year before you didn't get there.
Right.
What are you thinking going into that game?
So going into this game, Josh and I, like I said, we were first-time new starters, so we kind of felt like we had a clean slate. That this was something that we were kind of experiencing for the first time, Not only did we owe it to ourselves because we're prideful guys and
Sure.
we work extremely hard and we're confident in our game, but we felt like we really owed it to Daniel and Arch to just really leave it all out on the line because they had done so much for our program, and this was the round that kind of was the hiccup for our program in the recent years. So going into that game, we were playing Iowa, who had got ranked to number 2 up until that season nationally. So they were a really good team going into the tournament.
Yeah.
But like I said, we just had extreme confidence, man. We believed in each other, and we had a coach that he really believed in us, and I think that really just fed into all of our confidence, and we kind of straddled that line between confident and cocky, but it worked in our favor.
Yeah. So you win that game. You know, I'm always curious about what's it like those 4 days or whatever back on campus, right? So your game is on. Was your game Saturday or Sunday? Do you happen to remember?
Sunday.
Sunday. Okay. So you're back on campus late Sunday night, I assume. So you got like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on campus. What's that like? You're like big man walking around. Everybody's like, "Yeah, go!" Right? People are pumped up, or are you just like at practice in the gym, focused, not able to hear that stuff? What's that like?
You definitely have the moments where you're going to class and your classmates and teachers and stuff, they acknowledge what's going on. But I think at that time we were just so locked in. And like I said, we were just so competitive. Like our group, my entire time there, like the competitive nature between everybody that was there was just through the roof. And it was kind of one of those unwritten blessings that we kind of had that kind of helped elevate us. It wasn't never going to show up in a stat sheet or anything pretty, but our competitive nature and our will to win was just out of this world.
But like, come on, let's for real here. Like, are you on social media? Are you letting the noise distract you? Right? Mom's calling you. She wants to go to the game. What's going on? Right? Like, I don't know. What? How do you stay focused? There's a lot of things going on, right?
Yeah, I mean, our coaching staff did a great job in keeping us focused, but we had guys that were serious about basketball, and I truly believe that. And I don't think it's a secret that we had so many guys be successful on our teams, and that just shows how serious we all took it and how serious you had to take it to even be around us.
Got it. So it's professional. You got a job to do. You want to win the championship. You believe you can win the championship. So you kind of notice the noise, but you're staying focused.
And you use it as motivation. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I was definitely one of those players where extra motivation never hurt.
Yeah.
I'm watching ESPN. I'm watching Fox Sports 1. I'm watching all of that stuff. Even though Coach Wright is telling us not to,
right?
Again, extra motivation never hurts. So I want to see what everyone is saying, who they're talking down on.
Yeah.
And usually leading into games, they're saying that Villanova is small, and there's only one person in our lineup that they would consider to be small, considering who they would be guarding.
So it's Thursday. You go back now. So we've got Sweet 16, Elite 8. Where do you go for those games?
We went to Louisville.
Okay.
The KFC Center. So we played Miami and we played Kansas. And we beat Kansas to go to the Final Four.
Yeah. And that feeling now, you're getting ready for the Final Four, which a bunch of guys are feeling that this weekend here. Does it feel different than, you're back on campus for a few days. Do those 3 or 4 days feel a little bit different than the 3 or 4 days when you were on campus before?
Now, those days leading up, because you know that you're heading to the Final Four and you know the magnitude of the situation. So it definitely holds a little bit more weight. But I just think you're so excited about the opportunity and you're so focused and you want to win. At the end of the day, we all wanted to win. That competitive nature in us, at the end of the day, we wanted to do whatever it took to win. Yeah. If that meant we would stay in the hotel an extra night or that meant we would eat certain ways for a little bit longer, we were all committed to that.
Great. So you go in the Final Four. The stage is bigger. The lights are brighter. More cameras, more interviews. What's that like for you?
It was different. It was a lot. It was different, but you knew that's what come with it. That's what come with the territory. That's what comes with success. And there's no need to complain about it. We just embraced it. But at the end of the day, we knew the moments that we had to really lock in and focus, we had to do that because there were more distractions. And we were in Houston, which adds to the distractions.
Yeah. So tell me about the national semifinal game. What was that like for you?
That was a kind of a revenge game because we had played Oklahoma earlier in the season at Pearl Harbor, and they had beat us by 20. And that was kind of a waking up moment too. But like I said, we had a lot of guys in some new roles, and we were kind of figuring it out. And Jalen Brunson was a freshman, and he was starting for the first time. So we were kind of trying to figure some things out. So we knew going into that game that they were going to be overconfident because they beat us by 20 earlier in the season.
Right. I remember this. Yeah.
And we knew that that they were going to think that, and we were a much different team, a much better team by that point in the season. And we beat them by a record margin.
Yeah, you sure did. So now you got one more night's sleep, and then the championship game on Monday night. And you go into that game against North Carolina. They were a really good team. I think they were the favorites, weren't they, at that point?
Absolutely, yeah, no doubt.
Does that game feel different than the national semifinal on Saturday?
Okay, so this game did feel different, only because I was playing against my brother, so it gave me a little different feel.
You beat me to the punch there. I mean, that was crazy, right?
Yeah, that was definitely...
Your mom was like the original Mama Kelsey, wasn't she? Right?
In a way, absolutely. No doubt about it. But Mama Kelsey seems to like sit down and enjoy those high intense games. I don't think our mom had a chance to sit down and enjoy the game.
Yeah. But like, I mean, are you and your brother talking, the night before, you busting each other's balls? Like, what's that like?
Yeah, so we didn't get a chance to speak as much just because so much was going on, but we probably spoke more after. But we did have a chance to speak before, and it was all love, and between the lines is competition, and just like when we grew up, I'm trying to be him, he's trying to be me, and it's not really bragging rights, but it's more so of a little understanding, like I got you this time.
Now you're not matched up against him during the game, right?
So the way that we played, you could kind of be guarding anybody at any time. So there were times throughout the game where we were guarding each other, and I had to snap out of it a couple of times, like, dang, this is kind of cool to see him across, you know what I mean? But the competitive nature swiped that away real quick. But I did have a moment or two where I thought that, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. You're a little bigger than he is, right? So you lean on him a little bit.
I gave a little space so he didn't run past me and get an easy layup.
He's quick, yeah. But you hand checked him a little bit. a little extra on the hand check. There's your brother, right?
Yeah, just a little extra nudge, a little extra space given too.
Yeah. Now that was an unbelievable game, right? Back and forth, and then we get to that final possession, right? The shot. I want to know everything. I want to know what it was like when you were walking into the huddle for that timeout. I want to know what the coach said to you. I want to know what the play was that was drawn up. I want to know how you were feeling. So tell us everything.
So, Marcus Page had just hit an incredible shot. And we had called a timeout, so we kind of all knew what we were going to run.
Yeah.
But I can honestly say, like, just the makeup of our team, like, nobody was down. Nobody was feeling sorry for themselves because we knew we had a chance to win the game, as crazy as they may have sound to the outside world. We had practiced these situations. Coach Rice has drilled us on these situations. We've been punished if we've messed up and not executed in these situations, So this was just an opportunity for us to display that in front of the world. So going into the timeout, everybody was just locked in. We had this saying called attitude because that was a tough shot that Marcus had made. And
that was. I was screaming at the TV, yeah.
So that could have got our spirits down because, normally people don't make shots like that in high intense moments. And he knocked it down. So that's a lot of credit to him.
Yeah.
So just in the huddle, we all had extreme confidence. We knew the play we were going to run. We knew Ryan was going to have the ball. We knew Daniel was going to set the screen. We knew Josh and Phil were going to have an action going on the sideline. And I was kind of going to be trailing the play because Coach Wright trusted me to take the ball out in kind of those high-pressure situations, which he kind of looked back on and was like, well, you're our best shooter, so I probably should have had you up the court. But I was like, it kind of worked out for us.
But you leave that huddle thinking Ryan's taking the shot?
We leave that huddle thinking Ryan is going to make a play for us, yes. Not necessarily just take a shot because he has the ball, but knowing how he is as a player, how he is as a man.
Create a little something.
He was going to create something, and we were going to get the best available shot because we knew Ryan had the ball.
So the thinking is Ryan creates, he either gets an open look, or he's got Hart, or who was in the other corner? Booth. And you're just...
I'm the last option.
You're the last option.
I'm the trail man. I'm the last option. But, being a shooter, I was taking the ball out. Ryan was our starting point guard. So we break the huddle. And as we're walking down, I just kind of plant a little seed, like, look, I think I'm going to be open. Because just throughout the tournament, taking the basketball out, nobody had really guarded the inbounder.
Right.
So I kind of knew that just from scouting and being out there on the court, just like, I might have an opportunity. In my mind, let me just get close enough because there's 74,000 people here, and I just got to get somewhere near him so that he could hear me.
Right.
And I was able to do that.
Literally hear you.
Yeah,
it was so noisy.
Yeah. So I just wanted to get close to him, not turn the ball over, passing it into him, and sprint up the court and get as close as I could without bringing my defender at some point, because I was thinking that they were going to pick me up. I just didn't think that I was going to be able to just run up the court so freely.
I mean, you were pretty open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because normally you want spacing. You don't want to get that close to the player with the ball, because otherwise then, it gives it a chance to double team, in this case, Ryan, who had the ball.
Yep.
So he doesn't have an open look. He pitches it back to you.
He crosses over, he pitches it back to me, and I just do something that I've been doing ever since I was a kid. The easiest shot, most people would think the easiest shot on a basketball court is a layup. But for some of us, the easiest shot is just a catch-and-shoot jumper.
Yep.
And for
Do you
me,
know when you released it?
I think that's a little bit of the confidence and the cockiness that Coach Wright instilled in all of us. All of us had the opportunity to catch and shoot and had that belief. He gave us that confidence.
Yeah.
So I definitely thought that shot was going in like the millions that I had shot before, and the thousands that I had missed. I probably thought that they should have went in, and it was the rim's fault.
Yeah. You know what I admire most about you? You wanted the ball and you took the shot. A lot of people in life, when the game is on the line, right? Whether it's a literal game or just the game of life is on the line, they want someone else to take the shot, and you wanted it. You passed the ball in. You went after, arguably, I guess, maybe the best guy you had on the court at that moment, right?
Yep.
And you had the confidence in knowing that as good as he is, as good as Josh Hart is, all these other guys are, you wanted that ball and you knew you could make it. And I admire that. I really do. I think in life we need more people who want to take the shot. And that's the thing I've always admired about you, is when the chips were down, when there were 74,000 people screaming, when you had just could have been deflated by the shot that UNC hit, you wanted the ball in your hands. And I thought that was just awesome. I really do. I think that is so admirable. And I really respect that, man. I really do. It's incredible.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. It definitely comes from just everybody that we were around, and just got to give credit to all the players that were on the team, and obviously the coaching staff.
Yeah.
Like I said, from day one, Coach Wright, he lets you know, like, look, here, if you don't catch the shoot on offense, I can't really play you, because it's 4-on-5 on offense, and we don't play that way here at Villanova.
Yeah.
It's just not what we do.
Yeah. So shot goes up. Hits which finger last? This finger last?
Yes,
right?
sir.
Nice rotation. Ball goes in. You hear me screaming at home to my television, right? Tell us what that's like, man. Everybody mobs you, and I mean, could you believe it? What was that like?
It was definitely the highlight of our season, man. We had put so much work into it, but the thing that probably hit me in that moment was like being at the end of the bottom of the pile. So I probably came to my senses real quick, like, hey, guys, we probably got to get up.
Yeah, right.
It's rough down here for me.
You're getting beat up.
Yeah.
You know, I've always loved about you since that shot. It seems like you've never stopped smiling. And you got this, like, great sort of just energy about you. I think a lot of folks want to know, like, what's life been like for you since that shot? I mean, for a guy whose career, right, in hoops, the thing that people know,
Right.
Was defined by one shot, albeit a great career around that one shot, but that one shot. Yeah, I've gotten to know you a little bit, obviously, since that shot, and it's exciting for me to see you continuing to smile and do good in the world. And I think a lot of people would like to know what you've been up to.
Yeah, so I appreciate that. So this year was my first year broadcasting college basketball with FS1. So that was new for me. It was I had all Big East games, so that was fun. My very, very first game that I had was actually the legendary Rick Pitino.
Yeah.
So to have him as a Hall of Fame coach is my first game to ever call in college. It was humbling. I was honored, and it's definitely a career I'm gonna continue to take and move forward.
Good.
We have some stuff coming up because, other networks are getting other games and stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see what network I'll pop up on here in the future.
Good. Well, we want you to be successful in that. I appreciate all you've done for this community, the city, the region, just by being who you are, and of course, making that shot and having the supreme confidence to take it in the first place. And I wish you so much luck in your career. You've worked really, really hard, and I think Kris Jenkins is going to make a lot of shots going forward from the broadcast booth. And I really just enjoy the relationship we built and the friendship we have, and I'm going to be excited to watch you go forward.
Thank you. I appreciate you, and this has been an honor. I appreciate our friendship, and just looking forward to see what the future holds. And I appreciate you. I love Pennsylvania. It's been a big part, a big journey in my life, and it's funny. I remember coming on my official visit here to Villanova, and we toured Wells Fargo, and then Coach Wright and them were kind enough to give me a tour of Lincoln Financial Field. So that just kind of shows a full circle moment for me. So I love it here, and I love the people. So thank you.
Well, you've had a lot of impact on the people, but apparently you've not been able to impact mom and dad enough to get them to like the Eagles. They're sticking with.
That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough. We still working on it. We're in a good phase in Eagles football right now, so we're working on it.
Why don't we invite them to the tailgate next year? We'll work on them together.
We might work on some C6 vibes.
Good. Sounds good. Thanks, man. Good to be with you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.